Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. So I'm going to reply to a viewer's comment because all of our narcissists are different. And I know a lot of us are trying to figure out if our person is actually a narcissist. So this person really liked a video I did, and they said that their heart goes out to the victims. So people do care about you guys because there's empathy. We can relate to what you've been going through. So they say that their heart goes out to victims that are affected like that. So this person never walked on eggshells. I did. Comment below if you walked on eggshells or not. Certain narcissists will know which buttons to push and which ones are just a no-go, because they do still want the supply, but they still utilize a lot of narcissistic tactics. So she says that he was a classic narc. He didn't do a lot of those antics, such as putting her down. Mine really, there's a couple things where, they might, after I had my baby, they commented, I went from a size 13 to a 7. And then after I had my daughter, I went down to a 5 because she changed my hip shape. But they're never happy, no matter what. So from a 13 to a 5, not one time, because he pointed out, you looked really good in that picture, but your thighs are a little big. They're just never happy. They can never just give you a compliment. So she at least didn't have that. Mine weren't real extreme. Some people I've seen where they have terrible put downs in front of people. No matter what they do, they don't get built up. Now mine kind of cut me down a little more than this lady's, but she went through his anger, rage, moods. His time and what he had to do was a priority. Horrible communication. She states he was immature. Mine were the opposite. Well, one is kind of free-spirited, I guess, maybe, and the other was very rigid, very melancholy. Every now and then you would see a smile. So there can be different kinds, but the horrible communication, hers was immature, a lot of drama. Mine used the silent treatment more than drama, but based on the silent treatment, it caused drama. But he was complaining and griping, doldrums kind of person, pessimistic. A lot of them can be pessimistic. They're pessimistic with your life a lot too. Mine were more pessimistic on my life, not theirs. Pathological lying, a lot of cruelness, silent treatment. I got the silent treatment. And she went through that if he had a bad day. Slightly jealous, neurotic, had 10 irons in the fire. So she's not getting a lot of time with him. When you have that many irons in the fire, you start to get stressed. So he's probably having a lot of outbursts. He did gaslighting to her, staying gone a lot. A lot of narcissists will take advantage of just, if you have children at home, they don't care. They just want to go out. They want to avoid the responsibility. So he was gone a lot. She kind of started liking it, and she really never asked where he was. And she grew to hate him. I think she kind of expected him to realize, like, we're together. I should spend some time or invite her. And the mom even, this lady's mom said, why don't you follow him? And at this point in their relationship, she told her mom, I could care less. She was busy raising the daughter. She focused on, the responsibilities that she had and raising this child. She wanted to keep the house clean, doing things with the daughter. And that's what saved her and was good for her. So you can see that sometimes with narcissists, we can't just check that off, or, oh, he doesn't cut me down, so he's a good person, or she. There's a conglomeration of different characteristics, and they're not going to meet all of them. But they probably could have both handled the situation later, but there's better, because she started drifting apart. If they really both wanted to work on it, they both need to work on it. So she was probably tired of trying to ask him to spend some time with her, and that's where it starts to fall apart. And if she did ask him to spend time, unfortunately, if he's a classic narcissist, he's going to turn it around on her, or that she's too needy. And you get to a point where you're like, I can't win no matter what I do. Plus, when you're in a relationship, um, I started thinking, how many times, if you guys can help me out with this, how many times have you said, can we work on this, or can we communicate better? Or I'm trying to talk to you. Can you just answer this question? Like, we're really trying. How many times does a narcissist do that? Are they like, this is kind of falling apart and I'd like to have more time with you? Or do they um do it in like an angry fashion instead of a loving fashion? And they'll do it in a demanding fashion instead of a compromise type fashion, to where they don't they just want their needs served. Are they really working on the relationship? We want the connection. They just want, it's weird. They all say that they don't want the drama, but the way they handle it causes more drama. And then we react to that, and it just is really toxic. And there's only so much that you can put up with, you know, when you start asking, can I go with you? It puts a different vibe onto it, where you seem needy. They should realize that you're in a relationship together, and that they should invite you. It shouldn't be us always asking and seeming needy. Now, we do have to let them have their time alone. And that's part of where we get lost too, is she didn't have the controlling. Mine was like an unspoken control. And you get that through the dirty looks. Or I went out one time when I was with my first, and he was going out, like I let him go out after, and I hate that I use the word let, because that's just the way I talk. And he seemed like I should word it different, where it didn't bother me that he went out. It's weird how things work. I wasn't trying to control him, but little things like that. Like, I let you go out last Friday, and they take it the wrong way. So little words, I'm not trying to control, because I'm going to say yes. But the one time I went out, constant calling. When are you coming home? And it's like 10 o'clock at night. And I went out with his friend's sister. So it's kind of like, you just feel like I really can't go out. I was in the hospital after I had my daughter. We weren't together. We got back together. And I'm hooked up to IVs, because I was really sick with her afterwards. I was sick for like 4 months. Got a uterine infection on the birth. But I needed IVs. And he kept calling the hospital. When are you coming home? When are you coming home? He had his girlfriend watching our daughter, who's probably 1 or 2 months old. But I was so sick. He's like, can't you have your mom help? I can't remember what the story was. I think my parents were out of town, and so was my sister, and the other one was working or something like that. But it's his baby, and he wouldn't, I had to have the IV taken out so I could go get my daughter. And I don't think the girlfriend even minded watching. So I'll give her credit. That was nice of her to do. I'd rather her not do that. But and then the weird thing too is, I go to grab our daughter, pick her up, and he smacks my ass when I'm getting into the car. Like, they're still flirty, they're still, and it's weird. His girlfriend was in the house. So, we're not together. You're not watching our daughter. You're having somebody else do it. I'm in the hospital, and then I come back early, have them remove IVs for me, and didn't get the care that I needed. They would have admitted me, but I ended up needing to go get my daughter. I didn't have anybody to watch her. And that's how, he wanted to get back to his date. But then he's in the middle of a date and he's smacking my ass and flirting. Narcissists don't think of what they're doing, why they confuse us. You know, if she had seen it, she'd be confused. Was I confused a little bit, like what's going on? But this lady, really is saying she understands what you guys are going through. So sometimes we feel like we're all alone in this, where we fools, we get caught up. They keep saying that after the trauma bond, you go through that withdrawal like a drug addiction. So we were in an altered state of mind. And you guys know how painful, confusing, time consuming. Narcissists have brain damage as well. And if you think about your relationship at the time you're going through this withdrawal after the discard, or the anger when you removed yourself from the situation, it takes a while to get back to our friends, our family, the people that really mean something to us. And we get back to that state through self-evaluation, reflection. Part of it's a rumination. We got to break the rumination part, where we're using emotional thinking. We need to use logical thinking, because was it a good relationship? Did they try? Did they invite us to things? Or was it always us asking? Did they show us the love and the connection? We're going by our emotions. And if we can rewire our brain to look at things a little more logically, that's the hardest part. Because, you know, being in love is an amazing feeling, and it's kind of like we're addicted to feeling like we're in love instead of the logical part. But when you use your logical brain, you're going to bring a true relationship to you and avoid some of these people who are just taking from us. The hardest part of all of it is the being taken advantage of part sucks. Okay. But the hardest part is it didn't matter. It didn't matter. If you were to come live with me because you had something going on in your life, okay, so you're kind of taking advantage of me. You're eating my food, using my water and electricity, even asking me to do you favors. Can you drop this off at the mailbox? Little things like that. So in a sense, you're not giving me money. I'm just helping you out. But when there's an appreciation for that, like, that's worth it. I'll help somebody out. But and I'll do it too with people I don't know, like donating to charities, things like that. But when it's a person and they're taking everything that they can for granted, they're not thankful. Like, that's kind of all we're hoping for is, not that we're doing it for the recognition, or, I would do that. But when it's not appreciated, like, why am I doing that? Why are we doing that? There's only so many people we can help in this world. We should help the people that appreciate it, the people that deserve it. And, you know, we can only help so many people in this world. Are we helping the right people? With our narcissists, we want to help them have a good relationship. They say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. And that's kind of what we're doing with our narcissists. Is they're stubborn. They don't want to evolve in this relationship. They just want what they want. And it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. And it gets you to the point where you're either like this lady, where it's like, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. And others of us are caught up wanting to fix it because we don't understand it. It's really hard to understand of the way that they treat things. The complete anger. You break things off and there's an anger. It's, we get angry too, because it's sad how it ends. It ends with so much anger. instead of love, like, it's not working out, let's go our separate ways. Or we committed to this, let's make it work. It's just toxic how they deal with things. And just the lies. We don't know how to fix it because of all the lies. And they'll continue doing that with gaslighting. And that's why, you know, they're just bandages put on. And those wounds are causing scars. So, you know, I told you that I'm a burn victim, and we've kind of been wounded and scarred from our narcissists. So with the surgeries that I had, you know, it takes a while to heal wounds, just like our emotional wounds. And if they didn't care for my wounds the right way, they would have become infected. They would have caused more damage, more illness, possibly death or amputation, things like that. You have to care for the wounds the right way or they get worse. Same with our emotional healing. And the scars are going to form if you take care of it. My burn scars hurt for a long time. I'm sorry, let me reword it. My surgery scars hurt for a long time. The nerves were hypersensitive to where it was I didn't like being touched on certain areas for years. And now it's fine. You know, I had, it's hard to see. You guys can't really see it. It's like a zigzag right here. But that scar had like, they did it so tight, had a big lip up top, and I couldn't have blood taken from this arm. I didn't want to tourniquet because it felt creepy. Now it's fine. I can have blood taken from this arm. And same with our emotional healing. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel creepy. It's going to feel off. It's not going to feel the same. But eventually it gets back to that. You know, and there's things we can do, just like I could use cocoa butter to kind of soften the scar, massages, things like that, stimulation, or even just leaving it alone and letting it kind of rest. We have to do that with our emotional healing, and it does come. Unfortunately, I can't tell you how long it's going to come, you know, but it's going to be okay. And embrace your battle wounds, you know, because I can be all sad that I was a burn victim, or I think it's pretty cool I survived it. And the things that I can talk about it. There's things I'm proud of that I overcame uncomfortableness because of something that happened to me. And with our emotional healing, the more we care for it, the better we'll be, the quicker the healing will be, the more effective the healing will be. And then we're ready to tackle the world. So thank you for sharing that story. I love us being able to see that all these different stories are different, but it comes down to the true core of it is just the silent treatment, how they lie. They don't attend to what they should attend to. And I've noticed too with these self-aware narcissists is, you know, two of them that I know of are really working on their marriage, but they do a lot of videos. And it seems like one has a lot of irons in the fire. The other one, I don't know his life story, if he's working or if he's making enough money off of YouTube. But he's on the internet a lot. And it's kind of like, is he really giving her the attention or feeding off of the YouTube stuff, the attention from that? So are they focusing on what they need to focus? I'm single. I'll be on YouTube all the time. But please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.